Hello, welcome to another video. It's Saturday. Been a bit of a quiet week this week cycling. Didn't ride at all beginning of the week. Played bike polo Wednesday night. It was quite good fun. And two rides yesterday. Went out in the morning. Did 35 miles with my friend Dawn, catching up. Not seen her in about 4 or 5 months. That was really nice, nice ride, nice chilled ride. And then in the afternoon, we had a Sigma Sport staff ride. +1, Sigma Sport staff +1. So my friend Henry came along. He was actually riding past just as we were about to set off. So he quickly went home, swapped bikes because we're going off-road, and came and joined us. That was a pretty good ride. 25 miles, came with a bit of a smash fest in places. One of the girls set a QOM during the ride, so yeah, it must have been pretty quick really. So tonight, not going far, it's got about 29 miles I think it is to do to get to my 100 for the week, with having the 2 rides yesterday. So it kind of rescued the week, so I thought it was going to be my lowest week for a while actually. So unusually, I'm out east of Grantham. And it's quite a windy night again. But unusually the wind is coming from the east. So I thought if I go out eastwards, got into the headwind, I've just turned, and I'll have a nice sort of cross and tailwind back. So for quite a while I've been meaning to do a video about cleaning my cassette and chain, and a couple of people have asked about it. There was some comments on an earlier video about how clean my cassette was, so I keep forgetting to do it, and then I go and clean it. So I thought I'd let it get a little bit dirtier than normal and then do you a little video about cleaning it. So I'm going to drop into the video shortly some footage showing you how to clean, or how I clean the cassette. About once a month or so I'll take it right off, give it a proper good clean, but doesn't, in the summer it's been mainly dust, so it doesn't really warrant having it fully taken off this time. So I'll just show you the state of the cassette before I clean it. So as you can see, it's not too bad, it's not too dirty, but it is in need of a clean. The eagle-eyed, you might see down here, I've got a different speed sensor. I spent a whole £10.90 on that one. That's it's a Chinese one, Chinky Chinese, and you know, it's absolutely fine. And it came quite quickly. It's a bugger to get on though. Very, very tiny hands to fit in the spokes down here, and enable us to get this elastic band around, a rubber band around it to hold it in place. But yeah, it picks straight up on the Wahoo bolt, and yeah, it's been no trouble at all. It's been great. So I'm just going to drop in now some footage of how to clean the cassette. Nothing too different, it's just thorough. So a couple of months ago I posted a video on my bike. I just cleaned the drive chain, and a couple of people commented recently about how do I clean it, so I'm going to show you. So first thing is that, as you can see, it's pretty dusty at the moment. So what I generally do, I'll take the wheel out to clean it. If you're going to give the cassette a proper clean, then it's best to take it out so you can get at it properly. So that's what I shall do. So with the wheel out, first thing to do, especially if you've got disc brakes, the first thing to do is to cover up the disc. So here, co-op carrier bag today, we should cover the disc up with that. We don't want oil and grease on the disc. So having a couple of stands, as I've got here, can be quite handy. So if you just rest the wheel on it, enables you to get in properly here to give it a decent clean. So here I've got the stuff I'm going to be using to clean. Hot soapy water, definitely hot soapy water. Use hot water, not cold from a hose pipe, hot from a kitchen tap. But there's two types of degreaser that I generally use. Holford's one here, bike cleaner. That's general cleaning. It's not going to be that effective getting heavy grease off. That's more for cleaning the general bike. It will clean some oil, but not as good as this stuff. Not especially environmentally friendly. Don't make any claims it is, but you won't get much cheaper. I think that's about £10 for 5 litres. So it's screw fix, no nonsense, heavy duty degreaser. So use a decent brush, something that's quite firm. Awkward to get into bits and getting in between the cassettes, sprockets. One of those is quite good. Sponge for general cleaning and wiping down, and a good soft brush for the final part of the clean. That's what I'm going to use. So the first thing to do, get the heavy duty degreaser, push it onto the sprocket, let it get worked in. Try not to get too much on, because you may as well try and keep it just on the actual cassette. There's no point having it running down everywhere. So just brush it fairly well into the cassette. So the secret, get it well worked in, and then leave it. I'm going to go and have my tea. Just going to leave it, let it soak in, do its stuff. So if you come back to it, having left it while you have your tea, have a coffee, read a magazine, do whatever, you'll see that the degreaser would have gone right into all of the thick gunged on grease, and it will just soften the whole thing. So work it in again, make sure it's really well worked. Some things, I mean, this the screw fix degreaser actually slightly foams as you agitate it. To be fair, this sprocket wasn't massively dirty. It wasn't as dirty as it has been. But having said that, I've not done this for about a month, so it's had a reasonable amount of use in that time. So once that's worked its way in, normally give it a quick spray over with normal bike cleaner. That just helps to dilute it, get rid of the degreasant. Get one last work in. Now we can take a sponge. Water's hot. I say definitely use hot water. Now if you turn the wheel vertical now, because we're obviously going to be washing off very greasy water, and you can see just how well it's coming up. Remember, this is hot water, and I can't actually bear my hand in this. It is properly hot, straight from a hot tap. So working the sponge in to the nooks and crannies, normally put just a little bit of washing up liquid into the water, into the sponge. So if you wanted to now, you can see where some bits of my sponge has come off there. If you make sure you use an old sponge, because obviously the sharp teeth on the cassette will easily rip pieces out of your sponge. So what you want to do is down here is make sure that in between the actual gears you haven't got an accumulation of gunk and oil. So finally, just a bit more hot water on there. So now we've got rid of the oily stuff on there, we can now turn our attention to the rest of the wheel, and I'd just give it just a normal wash. Nothing special to do with the rest of it. Just wash it. So that's about it. So all I've got to do now, just remove my trusty co-op bag. Let's give a disc a clean, and we're good to go. So then what you can do, just to finish off, give it a rinse with totally fresh water. So there you have a sparkling cassette. So basically, if you keep it clean, don't let it get too dirty, then you can keep them like that. One thing to bear in mind though, don't give yourself a hard time if it's not that shiny, if you look at the material the cassette's made from. Some are made from a non-shiny, just some Shimano cassettes are just a kind of a grey alloy, so they're never going to shine. So if they've been plated, that one has, so quite a nice cassette. If they are shiny in the first place, then you can keep them shiny, but you're not going to shine something that wasn't shiny. So just bear that in mind. So I hope you found that useful. It's always very satisfying, I think, to get a very clean cassette and chain. Never a bad thing. I think it makes the whole bike quieter and smoother. Gear changes more, just crisper. And it's just nice to have a clean drive chain. So heading back to Grantham now. It's tea time Saturday. Road's a bit quiet. I've got a slight tailwind. So as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, drop a comment below. See you again in a few days' time. Bye.